Hey guys, this is Bandito Bane, the well-rounded nerd, the Super Spider-Man fan, and the Warhammer noob. And coming with you with another review, but this time it's going to be a Spider-Man inspired comic book review. Now the story we're looking at today is The Strange Talent of Luthor Strode. And it is written by Justin Jordan, and with art by Tradd Moore. And the description is: Luthor Strode is just your average geek until he sends for an exercise course from the back of an old comic book. What he gets is the instructions manual for a murder cult as old as mankind, which does everything that is it promised and more. And this is just the beginning of it, and you could automatically, as soon as you go into the comic book itself, you could see the inspirations that it has on comic books like The Amazing Spider-Man or Superman, even Batman. But let's go into the story, and we'll dive into this even more. Now, The Strange Talent of Luthor Strode starts with Luthor receiving a book about exercises known as the Hercules Methods, and Luthor actually wants to get this book so he could stand up to his bullies and protect his mom, who has PTSD after her abusive husband, Luthor's dad, has been released from prison, and he wants to protect her and hopefully stand up to those that will bully the weak. And while he starts doing these exercises, he gets better and better. He is able to predict a person's movements. He gets stronger. He's able to sense danger. His reflexes get faster. And he is able to do things that certain people can't be able to do. Like, he can heal like Wolverine, and he can move around rooftops and climb the walls, kind of like Spider-Man. But when he does this, he earns the attention of this cult, and they send out someone called the Librarian. And the Librarian starts killing people that get involved with Luthor. And Luthor, such as this bully that he stood up to, or these two crooks that he stopped, and even his dad. And while this is going on, Luthor is trying to protect this girl who he learns is getting abused at home. This girl named Petra, who he's had a crush on for a long time, and it turns out that she liked him as well. And this all accumulates to a big battle where a couple of people in Luthor's life unfortunately lose their lives. But I'm not gonna spoil the ending for you. You're just gonna have to look into it yourselves. Now I'm going to go into more of a review, and I'm going to tell you if you should pick this up, or if you should just rent it, get it from the library, or rent it on Comixology. But we'll do that. I'm going to discuss that right now. Now, the verdict. Should you get The Strange Talent of Luthor Strode? Well, that's kind of up to you. Like, I loved this book. It had a lot of callbacks to Amazing Spider-Man and Batman, and also some hardcore, like, early edgy Spawn stuff. but but this is a bloody book, like not bloody or bloody awful or bloody funny. It's just bloody, and there is some parts where some people might with a weak stomach might gag at. But let me put it this way: if you liked Army of Dark stuff like Sam Raimi's work with Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 2, or some of Peter Jackson's early work before he went full Lord of the Rings mode, then you'll probably enjoy this book. But if not, you probably won't. But I did enjoy it. I mean, Luthor is a very relatable character. He just wants what's best for his family, and I really like the love story he has with Petra. It really did remind me of Peter and Mary Jane. But if Mary Jane was a punk rocker chick instead of the girl next door. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book, and hopefully if you can find this at a local comic book shop, or even on Amazon. But I'd suggest going to your local comic book shop, support them as much as you can, and get the strange talents of Luthor Strode. I'm gonna give this 4 thwaps out of 5, and this is just the first iteration, the first part of the Luthor Strode trilogy. Next time I'm going to do a video on this, it's going to be the legend of Luthor Strode. So, until then, this has been Bandito Bane, the well-rounded nerd, the Super Spider-Man fan, and the Warhammer noob, saying, keep playing, and God bless.